More magic is made about EIDL loans, and could the magic next come to you? Hey everybody, this is LALATE with a second stimulus check and stimulus package update for today. This one's about EIDL loan and grant. A lot of big developments, a lot of big excitement, and a lot of magic today. As always, like and subscribe to this channel and drop your comments below, and we may feature them in tomorrow's recording. And please hit the bell on the front of this channel so you can alert every time that we hear about a new bill about the grant. Boy. Shortly, I will be getting to some really big developments about both the grant, the loan, and the magic of this channel. I'm going to lead with the magic, of course. I have never, ever, ever seen anything like this. Since 90, it's currently about 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time today, so the day is only halfway through. We have currently, because of the private, I have been able to get 11 loans approved since this morning. Yeah, 11 loans approved just since this morning, averaging somewhere around between $80,000 to $150,000. If you do the math, that's like over $1 million in loans just in about a half a day that I have been able to get for you because of this channel. Really quite incredible. I also have to thank the 2 mentors of this channel, of the private, who have absolutely been wonderful as well. They're answering your questions overwhelmingly. The magic that has happened because of the private in getting EIDL loans approved is truly overwhelming. I have promised all those that have gotten their loans approved in the last 24 hours that I would give a shout out to them on camera, and hopefully it's the entire set about to collapse. I mean, you know, when the set collapses, it's a good vibe. Hopefully I got everyone's name because there was 11 of them. So among the people that got loans because of me in the last couple hours are Nicole Davis, who has a business called Nikki's Hair Care in Atlanta, Georgia, and her website is Nikki, Nekkies -haircare.com. Give her some business. Also got Option Strategy LLC approved. His name is Cisco. Got Beauty Barb Faith, who is in Richmond, Virginia. Got Amy Ariel, who's absolutely charming as hell, a consultant in Boise, Idaho. Got Trio Trey, alone as well. Sheena Card, who owns Canine Curls in Payson, Utah. And the company is Dog Grooming Spa. And they just do incredible stuff and have just, their stuff is just amazing. Got their loan approved. Then there are those, then there's also Kid Create Studio in San Antonio, Texas. There's Steve 2007, Teet Underwood, and Justin Property Manager are the 2 mentors in this channel. So give a big shout out and hug to them. They have been doing magic as well. They're just charming, wonderful people. Of course, they're people that got their loan. I got their loans approved last week. Justin got his money today, so congratulations on Justin. Ms. Rabred, 40 got a massive loan approved today as well. Boston Mike. Then there is Soulmate LLC, who is a wholesale clothing store in New Jersey, got her loan approved 2 days ago. Then there is Real Estate Easy, who's Georgia's premier real estate company, and the website is reezway.com. He's in Atlanta, so 2 Atlanta viewers got his loan approved. And Southern Marine, who is a great friend out of Panama City, got 3 of his EIDL loans approved yesterday. I mean, that's more than 11, but I can't keep track. So what the hell is going on with LALATE? I mean, literally just magic. Literally just magic. So let me back up. What is going on here? If you have an EIDL loan that is not processing, if you have an EIDL loan that's in reconsideration, you have an EIDL loan that's just not going anywhere, get in the private. Get in the private. Go into the descriptions of this video. There's going to be a link to the Instagram account for LALATE, which is Instagram/LALATE _ like this, that line that goes like this. Go to there, follow, DM, ask to get into the private. That's all you have to say. Hey, can you let me in the private? That's all you have to say. You'll then get a response back to an account that'll say, here's the private, come in the private. Then once you're in the private, then you are in the private. Now, I'm going to change it up a little bit. I mean, we all like a little spice. When you come to the private, you'll see tabs, and that's like a whole other video. I'm not going to do that yet, at least not yet. You're going to see all these separations, tabs, recon, loan, grant. You're going to see some introductory stuff. Ultimately, I have been initially sending people to the tabs and having them work through it. Some people are still a little confused. So if you have a question, just DM me inside the private, not inside the main LALATE account. Once you're in the private, DM me, and I might be able to just rush you through. Ultimately, if you're wondering how I got so many loans approved today, 11 loans, I got to say, 8 of them were exactly the same situation. 8 of them, I think it was 8. 8 of them were, I had a loan offer, I accepted, SBA hasn't responded. It was that situation, which I gotta love because it's the easiest one to do. It's very, very easy for me. And if you can take credit for something easy, then you do something easy. That is an easy one. If I do it correctly, I know how to get it to work. And those people literally were getting loans approved within hours of contacting me. So that is an easy one for me to process. If you're new to this channel, because some of you are, please understand the importance of Experian Vantage 3.0. It is something from Experian. You have to call them up. It is free to know it. You have to know what your 3.0 score is, not 2.0, not 4.0, not TransUnion, not FICO, only Experian 3.0. So I will certainly be asking that of you in the private over and over again, and you need to know it at the time that we're working on the file. So not what it was 2 months ago, literally what it is now. If you know you're going to have a problem with credit score, you can get a co-borrower. That is still in the process. If you are only 20 points away from the threshold of like 590 and have done everything to get Experian up and it's still not there, remember there's the Experian Boost. It's a free thing that increases your Experian score by 20 points. That was debuted by the mentor, Tex Underwood, which I did not, I'm butchering that, but I did not realize that. So that came from the mentor. And the Experian score is so darn important. It appears now, because I think we're at about the first week of the private. I mean, it's literally like, I can't imagine something like this going so quickly. The private is really only a week old. I think there's like 600 people in the private. We're how many millions have we done? 3 million, 4 million. I mean, that's on top of the 20 million I had done, in April through now. But I mean, we're doing record numbers because we're sort of figuring out how to do it very quickly. My recon people. Recon's a little harder, and I keep on telling people who come in for recon to go in the recon tab, go up, find all the contacts, reach out to the contacts. The most common recon problem I'm having, because you see I'm dealing with the hard stuff right now, because recon is not necessarily easy, is if you were if your recon is for credit, that's the easy one. If your recon is for something else, like they couldn't verify your business, or you didn't make enough money last year, that one is sort of a paper-intensive process. And so you may have submitted the documentation and say, I've submitted the documentation, they haven't responded back to me. Ultimately, what you have to do with recon, and also if you're on recon for bad credit, is you have to get Experian up. Once you get Experian up, then you have to work my contacts in the recon tab, and please work them. I mean, don't email one person, just stop. You also have to call. Use the loans 888 number to contact the loan switchboard. Work the switchboard to find your loan officer and do it that way. Next, there's some viewers who accepted loans and are trying to increase the loan. Some have not accepted the loan, trying to increase the loan, and they're being routed through recon a little bit harder. Those two types of people, I don't want you to think you can get this done in 5 hours. That's the harder one. I'm not saying it's hard to do. It takes a little bit more work. So I want you to understand the notion of hustling. The notion of hustling means reaching out to as many contacts as I have in the respective loan portal, emailing, phoning, trying to work the switchboard and be routed to someone that'll help you. I had one viewer who looked up someone's LinkedIn and then went around and then got their other email address and then found them and then someone saw someone else's. I mean, that's working. That's hustling. But if all you do is you find 3 email addresses in the private and you just write an email and you stop and you say, I've done it, I don't know what else to do. That's not hustling. You're not going to get anywhere because it's not that easy unless you're one of my early scenarios, which I said was an easier process. So you can do it. I want you to stay motivated. I want you to stay inspired. You can do this as a group. The grant. Let me get to the grant. Boy, a bill has been introduced and people are asking me about the bill. And it's sort of like the other stimulus check questions where they're like, Mitch said there's a new cap of 40,000, so I'm screwed because I don't like that cap. It's a bill. It's not a law. It hasn't even been written as it hasn't been brought to a vote. So people are asking me about the grant. There is a grant bill, and it's bipartisan, and it calls for basically you getting that $10,000 of your grant money, which you never got. In the case of many of those viewers of this channel, some of you never got your grant, period. Let me recap. If you never got your grant money, you're never going to get, well, I'm going to talk in the context of this bill not existing. If you never got your grant money, you're not going to get your grant money. If you never got the remainder of your $10,000 grant money, you're not getting the remainder of $10,000 grant money. Okay, that's that. Now let's talk about the bill. The bill proposes to solve all that, to give you grant money you never got, but to give you $10,000 and not to give you $1,000 per employee. So it's a bill. It's bipartisan. It's currently in the Congress. But, so people are asking me, what's your opinion of it? I think it's great. I think it's, to hell, finally. But then they asked me, there's this new law. I'm like, no, it's not a law. It's a bill. Hasn't even been voted on. Isn't scheduled to vote. So then they asked me, do you think it's going to pass? I got to tell you, and I'm not trying to be negative, because you know me, negative is not this channel. But I'm so sick of politicians introducing bills and then just going on vacation and okay, I wrote a bill. I'm going to talk to all my constituents when you try to reelect me about the bills that I wrote that never got voted on, and I have my name all over them. It seemed like it's a reoccurring occurrence with some congressmen that just want to write bills and never get them passed. Early on in this channel, I detailed all those letters, those scandal letters, those leak letters, where they were writing Javita and saying, how dare you do this, Javita? How dare you do that? And yeah, we all got excited about that, but ultimately, do those congressmen ever follow up about their letters? No. Did they ever bring Javita in for a congressional investigation? No. Did they ever have an inquiry where they actually asked her hard questions? No. So it seems like a lot of congressmen like to say things and then just not follow up on it. A lot of wussies. Did I just say that? Yeah. They are a bunch of wusses, some of them. They just start something and then they just stop it. And I think they're trying to do it for publicity. Now, ultimately, if your name is on the bill and you're seeing my channel right now, you're probably pissed as hell. How dare that LALATE call me a whiz that doesn't fall through? So I'm challenging you, Congressman, if you're watching my video, actually do something this time. Stop writing bills and stop writing letters to Javita and stop, releasing them to ABC Texas and say, hey, I wrote a bill. Congratulations, I wrote a bill. Actually get the bill passed, okay? And actually have it enforced, because you had a bill with the CARES Act that was passed and you never enforced it. What's the purpose of writing bills if you don't do anything with it? I've never seen and a lot of people in Congress are tough people. They're former cops, they're former lawyers, they're doctors. They're tough people. Why do they get there and they're such wusses suddenly? You're just like, LALATE's going off on today. I want to thank Jason from the other EIDL channel who said wonderful comments about me yesterday. Thank you so much, calling me a celebrity. Oh my goodness. Nene Leaks is going to come in and interrupt me any minute in this recording because Jason called me a celebrity. Thank you for the very kind love. And everyone was like, hey, he said something really nice. So I appreciate the love, and I appreciate the efforts you're doing as well. The EIDL space is a very nice space, unlike some other spaces out there with purple background people. But anyway, so I appreciate your love. Finally, please give a lot of love and support to the two mentors in the private. They have done wonders, and they will continue to do wonders. Justin told me this afternoon he's more available now to help you than before. So please send love to them as well. Finally, this channel today, either today or tomorrow, is going to pass 100,000 subscribers. It's really been an incredible journey because of you. It's been a sentiment of helping one another, inspiring one another, keeping everyone positive during a very, very sad time in which people have lost their businesses. People have, had to lay off employees. I have been inspired and I have been motivated every time that someone tells me, like the grooming company I just covered a few minutes ago, that they got their loan approved because of me at the last minute when they were about to lay off their employees. They couldn't make payroll. And so when you talk about the success stories of this channel for businesses, it's also for saving employees' livelihoods. Those employees' lives were saved because, or financial lives were saved because their jobs were saved. It's so often forgotten, this entire path, that when we talk about saving small business, we not only talk about the business, but also the family, the husband and wife, the employees, and everyone that's dependent on the business succeeding and existing. And I hope that one another as a group go forward, that we continue to inspire and help one another. Ultimately, when we get through all this damn hot mess, maybe we'll all just meet up in Las Vegas for some drinks or something and just, strangle each other with some scarves. I don't know. We all sort of deserve it after all this madness. Sadly to say, I don't think we're through it. And so a lot of viewers have been asking about raising their EIDL loans. Ultimately, that's the decision you need to make. When I was talking about collateralization of EIDL loans earlier in this series of this channel, and I advised you take $24,900 if you do not want to be collateralized, I always qualified it as that's your decision. I don't know how much money you need. And I have a lot of people, like 5 or 6 now, that are saying, I got my money, I want to raise it. I'm worried my business won't survive into 2021. What year are we in? I'm so tired. Into the next year, based upon the amount of my EIDL loan. I want to raise it. So if you want to raise your loan, you can. It's a little bit more complicated. We're still pushing it through. If you've already been funded, Justin is a good mentor for that. So if you need more EIDL money, please understand, 1, do you qualify for it? 2, do the calculation. I did this in yesterday's video, that ultimately some loan officers are just throwing money at people. So maybe you get a loan officer on the phone, it's like, yeah, take some money. Others are really just sticklers for the money. As always, stay motivated, stay inspired, stay positive, and see you at 100,000 subscribers. Stay with LA for more.